Hello and thank you for joining me for another iTWire video with top international executives. Today I have with me Karoli Hindricks. She is the CEO and founder of Jobbatical. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us.
Now, which part of the world are we finding you in today?
Today, Northern Europe.
Northern Europe, all right.
In Estonia, tiny country, the country of Skype and all the neat technology. So it's quite close to where the Santa Claus lives. So quite far north.
Sure. Now we're talking via Skype, and you're on a good connection. My connection's a bit dodgy, so it was sort of dropping out a little bit there. But I got it. You're in Estonia, and so probably the best thing to do is to start by asking you, what is Jobbatical, and what's the brief story behind it? Probably a long story, but what's the story behind it?
Let's try to do a long story in short, right? So in Jobbatical, what we do is we connect tech and business talent with startups and social enterprises around the globe. And so basically coming from a country like Estonia is a tiny country which has more startups per capita than any European country in the world, in any other European country. Mm-hmm. I saw the problem of how hard it is to access international expertise. So basically getting somebody on board in your team who has, for example, marketing experience in bigger markets. So you're sitting in this tiny country and you're not accessing talent. On the other hand, there are guys and girls sitting in Australia looking for kind of the possibility to go and work and travel in Europe. So what we're doing is we're connecting the dots. So if you have a marketer there sitting in Australia who wants to live and work in Northern Europe, then we are connecting them to the startups and tech companies. So that's what we do.
And so quickly.
And the story behind it was, I actually started my first company when I was 16. So it was almost 15 years ago now. And I have been an employer for quite a while in the Baltic region and in Northern Europe. At the same time, I'm a millennial, so I love the kind of exploration and traveling. And I think for millennials, world is becoming kind of more of a village that it's easy to relate for us. We don't want to sit around in one geographical location. So kind of connecting those two sides was why I created it.
And from memory, I was told that you were having a break somewhere in Malaysia, and you wanted to be there for a few days, and after a couple of days you went crazy and decided that was the brainchild for helping to create Jobbatical.
Yeah, basically that was, I was, after I had led the launch of 7 television channels in Northern Europe, I was really good at building media companies. And but I was tired of it, and I wanted to kind of explore the world, kind of broaden my horizons. And I took a kind of a time off, and my first trip indeed was to Malaysia. I tried to rest for 8 days, and I understood that it's nice, but I have to work on something. This is who I am. I love working on something. So I started to see if there's any team I could be helpful to, because I would just volunteer for a half year and help somebody to build a media channel, for example, in Asia or Africa. And then I realized nobody's using my kind of people. So basically we had a talent pool of globe-trotting techies and marketers, and nobody's actually using those skills. At the same time, we see a lot of talk about talent shortage. So this is kind of the dots we started to connect.
Sure. Now, Jobbatical obviously plays on the word sabbatical, which means, to take some time. But in this case, it's to take some time to do some work in another part of the world, which is what you were just talking about with your idea of going overseas and wanting to do something and helping. But I mean, these are paid opportunities. So how long are most of the opportunities? Are they short term? Are they long term? Can they morph into long term?
Mm-hmm. So we see that most of the gigs are approximately 12 months. So it's I think it's quite fair enough, because 12 months for a company to have somebody on board, it's long enough to really have, use of those skills. On the other hand, for a talent, moving away for 12 months is like, okay, I can do it. Maybe 3 years would be if you haven't been in the country or in the city, it seems like eternity. But 1 year is like a kind of nice frame of time. So 12 months is the most popular duration of the Jobbatical.
And presumably, if the person who's moved to the other country is happy to stay, they could, and the company's happy to have them, then they could extend that for as long as they wanted to.
Exactly, and we even joke that we are kind of a dating service for kind of international dating service. So it's hard to convince you probably to move to Tallinn forever if you haven't been here. But if you're already here, we will. Our companies are ready to really make your stay here really positive, so that you would like to work and continue working with those companies. So in that sense, we are international dating service for companies and talent.
Sure. So how long have you been in operation already, and how many jobs are on the board as of now?
Okay, so we are actually very early stage. We beta launched only 7 months ago. Mm-hmm. But we have seen a very big, fast growth. And so if today there should be approximately 320 opportunities live on the site. We have altogether had over 600 opportunities. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, we started to really kind of get hang of it, or like grow very fast now 2.5 months ago. So now Jobbatical is flying, and now we have a lot of opportunities. 3 months ago, you maybe saw only 15 there. So we now are on the kind of highway.
Sure. And have you officially launched, or are you still in the soft launch phase?
We are in the beta phase.
Yeah.
And planning to kind of officially launch this later this year.
Sure. Well,
it's currently beta.
Good time to be getting some publicity, getting the word out, because you'll have obviously more opportunities. Now, I know you were saying it's European, but when I spoke to one of your staff before, they were mentioning that there are opportunities all over the world, including some in Australia.
Some in Australia, also our kind of fastest growing region in terms of opportunities, actually Asia, like for example Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Indonesia. You can imagine that the first opportunities that those were developer gigs in Bali, they got so many applications that basically guys from Silicon Valley all wanted to move to Bali. So
sure.
Asia is turning out to be a hotspot.
Yep.
And also Australia. We would love to find more teams in Australia who could use kind of the talent pool that we have and connect them to our people. And
where are you finding most of the applicants are coming from? Is it from Eastern Europe, from the Americas, from India, from all over the world, I guess?
Our biggest community groups are from 3 English-speaking countries. So, and I would like to get the 4th, Australia, in that pool as well. So Canada, US, UK, actually, it seems to be very popular among them. And we have quite a lot of users from European Union, obviously, from Portugal, for example, techies, Spain, also from upper Northern Europe. So, but yes, the biggest communities are from US, UK, Canada.
Sure.
Now, and some Brazil as well.
Sure. Now, you mentioned developer jobs, so that's IT, but what other sort of jobs are listed, and are there any C-level positions like, chief marketing officers? I mean, what's the scope?
Yeah, the scope is actually approximately half of the gigs are developer gigs. So to find a Java developer, to find various types of developers, this seems to be for, if you are a developer in Silicon Valley or in Tallinn or in Paris, then your skills apply very easily to wherever you are sitting or wherever the team is. So we see the most appealing are the developer jobs, also BizDev and marketing. So those are kind of the 3 scopes of the most popular ones.
Now, I already know the answer to this question, but it's worth asking anyway. Have you used Jobbatical to find staff for yourself?
Now I lost your connection, but I guess what you ask is if we found Jobbatical, if we have ourselves used Jobbatical.
Yes.
Yes, of course. We do it all the time. Actually, we have 8 people right now in the team, and 2 of them are hired through Jobbatical, and now we're going to hire a 3rd one. So we are resourcefully using our own platform.
Yeah, well, as they say,
hiring tool for us.
Yeah, in the technology world, they call it eating your own dog food, which doesn't sound very good, but clearly it's very delicious because it's working.
Exactly, it's working. And we have a person from Latin America, from Argentina, from US, and soon will be also one from Europe.
So what about
working well.
So what about visa problems? I know that in countries like the US and Australia, you have the 457 or the HB1 visas, which are very hard to get and very controversial. But that's not the case all over the world. What is the visa situation in Asia or Eastern Europe? How easy is it to pack up all your stuff, move to another country for a year, and start working without having to worry about green cards or their equivalent?
Yeah, that is one of the reasons we see our fastest growth is in the countries where the visa is relatively easy to get. So basically, bringing, even let's say we have an Australian talent we want to bring to Estonia, then it takes approximately so like $60 and 25 minutes to actually apply for the permit, and in 2 days you have the permit. So it's so easy that you cannot even consider it a hassle.
Yeah.
Definitely US for us, US is a great tool in terms of talent pool, but it's difficult in terms of immigration. So what I believe and what I see happening also with Jobbatical is that 5 years ago, everybody wanted to move. Like if you're a talent, you wanted to move to New York City or London. So that was kind of where you graduated university. You're kind of the path was very similar with many people. But what is happening today is the emerging of the kind of long tail of new cities, and those cities, there are two sides. On one hand, those cities work a lot to actually attract those talent. So it means that they make it very, very easy to get talent on board.
Sure.
On the other hand, people are more kind of ready to explore. So instead of everybody going to the same kind of city 10 years ago, now people want to have interesting lives, special lives, different ways of living. So that I will move to a country that nobody maybe from my friends had even heard about. And that's kind of the exciting part of it. So I think those two things, that first of all, there are cities that are where a lot of things are happening, but who are kind of helping to get the talent on board. And on the other hand, from the talent side, that people are so curious to actually have a different kind of life. So I think those two will help us to grow even more.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. So what's the most awesome job you've had on Jobbatical thus far? And maybe what's the most boring job?
The most awesome, I think it all depends on who the talent is.
Sure.
So in terms of developer jobs, I think in terms of which has been the most popular ones, then definitely the gigs in Bali were by far the most popular ones.
Yeah. And do you remember
most boring ones? We don't really accept boring jobs. So that is the thing, that we are kind of curating all the content. So we don't. It's not possible to publish without our approval, and we generally don't approve boring ones because nobody will win from that.
Absolutely.
So it's hard to bring out a boring one.
Sure, that's okay. So if I was a company and I wanted to explore employing somebody from overseas because they had talents that I couldn't find in my own country, or maybe I can get them at a better price, what do I have to do with the Jobbatical website to list the position, and what does it cost?
So currently, as we are in beta, it's a great time to explore Jobbatical because you don't really pay anything for publishing opportunities. So only thing you have to do is to sign up, and basically we will contact you. We will help to design the whole job listing, because we don't want any. So basically, we want to help also to set up an inspiring call to action, and we know how to do it. We know our community. We know how to talk with our community. So basically, the only thing you have to do is to sign up your company and create a company account, and then we will approach you and we will help to kind of get your opportunity out there.
And so you were just saying it's in beta phase, it's not costing anything yet, but once you've launched, will it cost both employers and potential employees a fee to what will the model be afterwards?
Yeah, the model is basically it is the companies that will pay, and the companies pay for either an opportunity. We have two products basically what we have already today. One is publishing the listing, so basically creating, designing, and publishing the listing to our feeds. And the second thing, and this is the kind of even I would say the coolest thing, is that basically we are shortlisting people. So if you're looking for a Java developer, for example, then we will we will invite people who have the skills in our community, who are ready to relocate to Australia, and we will shortlist those people who are ready to talk to you. So you don't even have to go through the whole long waiting process to see if the right people will apply, but we will kind of proactively help to shortlist our community members who are ready to relocate to your team. I
mean, in a way, it sort of has aspects of a recruitment agency, but blended with all of the benefits of an online system and the global audience.
Exactly. That's where we are kind of positioning ourselves.
So, are you going to be? I know you've got a number of media articles out there already, but will you be doing advertising on Google AdWords, or I don't know, sponsoring Shark Tank or something? I mean, are you going to be? What sort of? Probably not Shark Tank, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, we work a lot with different marketing tools, so we already use them, and basically, I mean, our main goal is to build, keep building the product so that basically all the processes will be smoother and easier and faster. But in terms of marketing, we are in constant work with Google AdWords, different social medias and medias. So I don't know if it answered your question, but
no, you did. There's only so many avenues you can use online, and it sounds like you're using them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So just a couple more questions. I always like to ask the people I interview, based on a question that I heard Ashton Kutcher suggesting was a good question he always liked to ask and be asked. So I thought, okay, I'll ask that question, and which was, what's the best piece of advice that you've ever received to help you get to where you are today?
Yeah. I would say the best advice, but also my looking at my previous kind of experience, I experienced it on my own skin, and the advice is focus. Like I started out as an entrepreneur from puberty, and my biggest mistake back then was that I tried to do everything. I was in politics and business and like all over the place. You cannot build a company, a product, and a team without a focus. So I think this is the crucial thing to have, the skill to say no and to focus. Those things I think are something that will help in whatever you're building.
Sure. And then just the final question is, did you have any final messages for iTWire viewers and readers and for your current and potential customers?
Just waiting for, first of all, I would love to have more people from Australia in our community. Also, being a growing startup and a tech company, always open to hear your feedback, and just hopefully see you soon in Australia.
Okay, Karoli, thank you very much.
Thank you.